Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Age of Wonders Planetfall, where for some reason the music dipped out the instant I hit the recording button. That was kind of strange. Now we just have like ambient animal noises in the background. We are going to do some damage here. The Kirko rushed in while the army was away. There's definitely some like historical precedent for this kind of maneuver, but now they're in the bad place. I guess the plan, the first question we have to answer here is, how many people are we taking to Kensoul? Do we want to take all 4 of these armies? I think the answer is yes. If we go with less than this, it's possible that we're going to end up losing some people. The other option, right, is try to take Kensoul back with just these guys and have these ones immediately start moving west. But I think we want to end up moving west as a big group anyway. So here's what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do this turn is take out this wildlife so I don't have to worry about him anymore. This looks like it shouldn't be a thing where we take any real damage, but you know how I am about minimizing casualties, especially in a case like this where we're about to be fighting a huge number of enemies. Plus, I do want to get to actually use our Tyrannosaurs. Spent a lot of time researching the ability to make Tyrannosaurus exterminators, and we're going to use our Tyrannosaurus exterminators. Unfortunately, our guns are too short range for us to use them this turn. That's fine. We'll just, like, move up a little bit. A lot of the enemies here are melee enemies, so I am not worried about us not getting into range. They're going to come to us. You get over here and do some of this. You also just like, get somewhere and take cover. Okay. We don't have to be terribly exacting on this one. And have these units just run in the direction of the rest of our friendlies. Okay. Really? They're all melee fighters and they're just gonna stand still? Well, I mean, we can put an end to that nonsense for sure. So I need to move very slightly closer. And we really are. We're going to move very slightly. Very slightly. Because I want to open this fight with a big bombardment shot. Use this Tyrannosaurus as cover, you know, as you often do in a strategy game. Who hasn't played a miniatures game or two where they were like, okay, and then this turn, definitely going to duck behind the Tyrannosaur. Okay, they decided it's time to start playing the video game. Good news for us. So, let's drop a nice bombardment shot right here. Alright, now we have a lot of enemies who do not have any real cover. I think we're going to be able to make some good stuff happen here. So, first things first, obviously we got to make sure we're killing off these two. I think the Tyrannosaur should have this. Do we want to just run up? This is a single action. So probably I want to, probably I want to take the shots. It's a little bit of a shame that we're getting a little bit of obstruction from the plants here. Just trying to figure out how I think we do this best. Let's just take the shots. Wow, really? Not a single hit. Okay, well that does complicate things a little bit. See, my plan was to have this Pteranodon attack these guys. Maybe I want to just blind them then, since we're not going to be able to do enough damage to kill them no matter how we do this. The blind is almost certainly not even going to work. Alright, we'll just do damage. That's a pretty sub-expectation, though. Alright, can you get in range? What is the range on this thing? 7? We can maybe make that happen. Does this need... Yeah, this does not use line of sight rules. So if I run over to, like, here... If I run over to here, I can also just shoot at him. Damn it. Well, is it worth spending energy? Probably not, right? Yeah. Super annoying, though, that they got to pull off that crit attack because of the fact that our troops just went way, way, way under expected value on their attacks. Okay, we definitely need to blow this guy up. Like, I need to stagger him, right? Okay, that attack doesn't stagger. I just kind of assumed it would, because explosions do, generally. There we go. Now we should have... No, we do not, in fact, have a pretty easy kill. I still maintain that we should have a pretty easy kill. Somehow still alive. Well, this is all going splendidly so far. You're going to get just south of actually killing him. Okay, well then you finish this guy off. And you can kill him. Or, of course not. Of course you don't kill him. Man, I feel like this battle has been way, way worse than expected from our troops. Like, if you our actual hits and stuff versus the percentages we should be seeing. It's gonna happen, you know, variance is variance, but it feels like garbage. Almost makes me not even want to attack over here this turn, but I think we, even without our operations, like, we still have the range advantage, we still have the bombardons and stuff. Oh, actually, we can't clean that up and get adjacent to the enemy. Oh, you know what we could do, though? This will restore all my movement points. Then we can do it. Okay. Yeah, we're cool. So, how do we want to array our troops? We're going to be around the enemy here. What makes the most sense? I guess... Actually, it's not going to matter, right? Because we're going to be using the city defense map. So it's going to compress all of our stuff into 3 approach angles anyway. We're going to do this by launching an attack here. This is considered a safe battle, but we're going to do it manually because we must minimize casualties. Not damage necessarily, but casualties. Alright, let's do that thing we always do. So, first of all, looks like we're going to be maybe leaning to this side this time. They put all of our extra troops in the middle, which is a little inconvenient, because, like, the middle is definitely the worst approach. Let's make sure we're getting people over here. This will be a good opportunity for a first-turn Warcry. Although, honestly, maybe first turn Warcry is not even smart. Maybe we want to do a second turn Warcry, because we're probably not going to be able to do much attacking on the second turn. We're definitely going to just tack hard to this side. We don't need all of our units, I suppose, to end up actually in the lane over here. We do definitely all want to be over this away. And I suspect these guys won't even bother trying to follow us, based on what we've seen happen so far. Alright, you lot... Where do we want to put you guys? You can start setting up over here. You can get, like, way the hell out there. And then... You don't really want to move very much. I mean, we can move some of these units around. Let's just get to the other side of this hero, but we're going to stay within the 2 tiles. Alright, we could just not do anything through the maceration if we really wanted to. I don't know that they don't really have that many biological attacks in this army, though. I don't think the maceration is very relevant. Yeah, it almost doesn't do anything at all, I think. I'm going to do this and just go into plant roots mode with this guy. Okay. Let's get people around for the war cry. The Biomancer doesn't necessarily need to be in there. Okay. I'm going to move to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we probably want to be one space further forward. Be a good spot for you to end your turn. So you could get over here and also plant roots for a little bit of free healing. You can end up back here. Boy, we sure are going to get a lot of people affected by this buff. All right, greatest war cry of all time. All right, and now let's have the rest of these guys start spacing out for the actual attack. So I guess given the way we've stacked up over here, it might even be the case that we want to just burn this thing down really fast, like run forward, blow this thing up, and then move in and blow this thing up, and we'll just attack them from this side rather than trying to draw them out into the street. Make sure that yeah, okay. I am in fact correct about how far forward we can stand. So I think to that end, we're going to have a lot of people standing as close as they can to the fire line. Yeah, I mean, you may as well get over here. You're probably going to stay back a little bit more. I'm actually going to have the Biomancers just heal him. We're pretty compressed. Alright, I think that we're good now. Alright, more meaningless maceration. You can only be so mad at something that gives you an opportunity for that much alliteration, though. I'm remembering what this does correctly, right? Yeah, it just lowers biological resistance, which has almost no relevance here. That's a shame. I do wish I had been able to stand one space further forward without coming into turret range. Well, I think we just do it... Yeah, we just do it here. I'm a little worried about the 50% chance. I'm not 100% clear on how mischance translates into projectile scatter. Like, if I miss the 50%, how far away will the projectile go? Does it go further on in cases where we miss by a larger percentage, you know? But I think I'm just going to try to dump this right on this guy's head. See if that works. Okay, it scattered a little bit, but it still hit him. I was really hoping it was going to hit the turret. And I think we're going to do it. We're going to go in. Oh, interesting. I can't actually move my units. The maceration is slowing us as well. I can't actually move my units further forward. So if we can't get in range to attack the turrets this turn, if we would have to endure an entire turn of turret fire, then we don't go forward. And what we do instead is make a little bit of room. Plug these guys into the formation. And we just be ready for the enemies to come back on us, because that's what's going to happen here. So you can go ahead and fire your shot. No line of sight on account of that building there. That's disappointing. And if I step up, I'm in danger. So actually, what we'll do to patch this is we'll just have you step back one, you go over here, and now we should have a clean shot. Ooh, and actually, I can fire this a little bit deeper. That was pretty good. I don't think we're necessarily going to actually get hit this turn, but we are going to see them start coming forward, I think. So who else? Who actually has Overwatch? You can step forward and Overwatch, and then everybody else can just hit end turn, I think? I don't know if there's anybody else who... Oh, these guys over here should probably do stuff. Once again, take a very small amount of healing. Okay. Do we want you to do anything? You could throw your heal. It's probably not necessary. I think we're good. Alright, they throw their own explosives. I don't know if I think that was a very good idea. But yeah, they're going to chase us over here to the side. And we are going to blow them up. We're going to start with this. 95% chance to hit, 5% chance to hit. That animation seems to have gotten stuck. The fire barrel didn't actually launch. That's crummy that their cover is cover was not damaged at all by that. This is going to make it a little harder to murder them. Let's see. We can move you close enough to take this shot, but it's not really worth doing. You, for some reason, only have a 20%. I mean, this is not going to be a problem again. We can throw out some minor heals here. What I really need, like, what we need is to wait for the slow to wear off, and then next turn we can run forward. So... trying to figure out, like, we definitely kill you. How? You only have your pistol. So if I don't kill you, it's not the end of the world. I guess I don't have to stress about this too much. The grenade throw has a 3-space range, so if I stand here, I can throw it on top of the cover. This does not have Demolisher, but it will let me at least do some damage without having to get all the way out of the way. I think I'm just going to take this bad shot. Okay. Just going to roll the crit and make it happen. Hooray for animal units. And we'll just throw out some simple heals here. I mean, does anybody need the full amount of healing from this? I guess you could use a big heal. Hold on. That guy. That guy could. Now that it's clear that he won't need to shoot at anybody over here. We can set a real heal on you. Sadly, our hero took a point of stagger, and so cannot just renew the war cry, because that is what I would absolutely do if I could. The Psycho... not moving fast enough, I think, to be an actual threat. You know what? Instead of defense mode, why don't you just watch this way? Because that Psycho is totally going to come over here. I think we're just going to wait, mostly. There is this effect, and it needs to wear off. I don't think I'm going to... yeah, I'm not going to have a shot on those guys no matter what I do. These guys do have to get into melee range to actually accomplish anything. And Phoebe may as well use her heal now, I guess, because she's going to have other stuff to do. And I think those are all the units that have abilities that matter. You could, I guess, try to get a scan off or something, but that's, yeah, whatever. Okay, my plan was not to just wait and draw them out, but they behaved in a way that made the other plan not very good. So we could do some more bombardment here. Is that a smart play? And it feels pretty okay. I don't have very clean shots. I mean, we can probably get this guy down. And my units don't have a ton of firing range, but we can get rid of him. So now that we're not all slowed, the question becomes, do we actually want to run up here, burn down this turret really fast, and then... Actually, still, even without the slow, are you still... Huh. You're not slowed anymore, but you definitely don't have your normal amount of movement. So we can move up to here. We could try to take this turret out. That'll give us a much better foundation for fighting them as they approach us. If we can take the one turret, we can take the other turret shortly after. Alright, I'm gonna try to make the space to make this happen. I would really love to be rid of this turret. It's gonna make my life so much easier. 70% chance to hit is what the game tried to tell me there. I guess Phoebe can just run forward and shoot this guy? Yeah, we're gonna have a really hard time killing the turrets now, actually, because of the very, very bad damage output. The fact that my attacks don't work. You probably just, like, step down here and shoot that guy a bunch. You don't really have a play other than this, and that really is not even good. And then we have to figure out... It's probably this, right? I don't actually want to move him forward. I really hope we don't... Okay, I was going to say, really hope we don't scatter in a way that makes it impossible for me to hit that turret. I guess we could try to hack the turret, maybe? It's mechanical. Maybe that would have been a plan. I think at this point, I'd much rather just continue with the kill it plan. Stupid 5 range attacks. Where's my other... Here we go. Here's the other one of these. Yep, of course. Of course, of course. So we're going to get hit by both of these turrets. Because between the whole lot of us, it was not possible to find enough attacks that were actually going to deal damage to them. That really sucks a lot. We'd be fine if Eleanor wasn't slowed. She could deal the last little bit. Well, we can still try to steal that truck. Yeah, the truck is a mechanical unit. I guess I could just move up to like here and throw my bad grenade. There you go, get a little stagger on him. What do I want you to do? You just don't have any play at all. I guess what I want you to do is run forward and cast a heal on someone, maybe? We don't even really need to. So they still have grenades on these two guys, but I think that aside, they're pretty much out of AoE. Not too worried about the group up. Also, their AoE in this game is generally pretty weak, it seems like. Yeah, that's an okay heal. That guy's out in the open. He may well get shot at. You don't really get to do anything. Let's just run up to here and just outside of tower range and wait for death, potentially. Yeah, no matter what we do, we can't quite get over to there. How much does the turret actually shoot for? Up to 33. So we could just commit on this. Like, I'm not going to kill this thing this turn, but we can put ourselves in a really good position to kill it next turn. And I'm just going to have to tank some damage. And then the Tyrannosaurs just run forward and get ready to be in trouble. Do I want this guy to flank up and around the back a little bit, maybe? Probably not. Their weapons are short range. They're good melee fighters. Let's just have them go forward. cannot, with most of these units, we cannot actually find a shot. You guys can, but you're really far enough back that you, yeah, don't really get to do anything. With the battlefield having reshaped the way it has reshaped, though, I think that's an okay move. It's totally acceptable. And then you are not going to be able to get a sleep off. You might be able to get a scan on one of those guys. I don't know that it matters too much. But you don't have anything else to do this turn. Who knows? Maybe we can lower the critical number of attacks by 1. Alright, and you are going to run up. As much as I hate to say this, Swiftbeak, you're really not terribly useful. You're going to run up and try to draw fire from that turret to keep our Huntress alive. Hey, it worked! And they didn't even manage to kill him. Although then there was additional AoE. Okay. So this is pretty good for us. First of all, we have some tail swipe options here that are pretty interesting, given the way they've grouped up. I guess first of all is this. First of all, let's knock this turret out. I really don't have range on that? Okay, no more getting shot in the back. That part of the battle is over. You need to move forward and provide us some ability to run through here. Trying to figure out what the correct order of actions is. 30 damage, knockback, massive impact. But I definitely want to do some damage first, right? Alright, with you, I think we want to run her kind of out of the way. Let's try to steal the truck. Okay, doesn't work. He is arc disabled, which is good enough. Unfortunately, it does not allow us to get enemies to shoot at him instead of our own troops, which is what that mind control is really all about, but it's still pretty good. Right here, like, we could get a pretty powerful blind off. Okay, I think the blind was resisted by this hero, but it hit the other two, which is awesome. So we're not really in a tremendous amount of danger at this point. They've probably done a pretty large percentage of the damage they're going to deal during this combat. And we get to engage them without ever having to worry about turret fire again. I don't want to step forward and do this melee attack until after we've damaged these guys a bit, because the Tyrannosaur is going to be providing cover for them after we do it. So I think what I'm going to have this guy do is just run up here so that to create a hole that everybody else can move through. Put some damage on those guys. Tyrannosaur attack is now lethal. Ooh, I can hit that. That's what I should have started with. And now the fact that I'm going to be providing cover is a little bit lessened as well. That's definitely the move I should have started with. Look at how great these guys are. How incredibly powerful. And then we could do that again, but also could just shoot them with massive laser cannons. It's not actually going to end up doing that much more damage. Maybe I should run up and go for another melee. We could get that distance. Gotta make sure I have an opportunity to kill as many people as possible here. I'd love to get rid of the distant hero. We have so many more people who can shoot at this one. You're at 38 health now. We don't really have to hit you that many more times. It's really a temptation to run up and just punch you all to death. Okay, so with that, this melee attack should be... it is not quite lethal. Just too much damage resistance. Can we get one more shot in? Okay. Now we can go for a lethal melee attack. Nope, it does even less damage. Oh, because I didn't have the melee attack selected. You gotta keep reselecting the obviously correct attack every time you select the unit. Well, we do have some pretty powerful debuffs on you, and I think... Oh no, you are not burning. Also, you are not debuffed in any way. Maybe you're debuff immune. Well, that really means that I have to get over here and get that shot. I mean, I'll take 2 shots at 40%. A graze is good enough for a kill. Okay, that had to happen. And then just focus on the other hero for the moment. We don't really need to do anything to this truck. Unfortunately, this guy is very tough. Use an Arcanode to fire a disruption virus at target enemy unit. It's weird that it's called a disruption virus when it's clearly, like, the implication is that it's a computer virus, but it's very obviously not. Okay, that's enough out of you. You we are done with. We do need to try to kill this thing if we can. It's not entirely trivial, actually. Really would have been nice to just get mind control off on it. Okay, 2 grazes on a 35%. That's not like that far outside of expectation. Okay. And now we have 1,000,000 units right up close on this guy who has no cover. I have no concern about us failing to get that done. Okay, so we did lose the Axe Beak to the first cast of the Disruption Virus, but that's all we lost. And that Axe Beak was already borderline not a real unit. Alright, Console is ours again. Now we have to figure out... Well, I guess that things kind of worked out there. Yeah, take all this stuff to the arsenal, we'll figure it out later. Because now we have exactly enough units to fill these armies. Now what do we do? Do we want to go back through the teleporter? Or do we want to just run along the road? It probably makes more sense to run along the road. Who has the least movement? This army has the least movement. So we're just going to stay in the triangle formation. But I think they're in bad shape here. Do we want to give you piloting? Right now, your bow's fine, but I'm wondering if maybe the smart move would be to go to start building toward a Pteranodon. I guess there's some value in having a unit stay on the ground because the bow's okay. Do we have a better ranged weapon, maybe? We do have this Venom Sniper. I think I'd rather stick with the bow. We also have access to a bunch of stuff in the shop, of course. I'm going to start taking piloting. It's cool. The problem with it is that it's very cool. So do we want to immediately go into piloting mode? I think so. Congratulations. You are a helicopter. And then we have a bunch of weapons. I mean, it's probably better to go for an Inferno launcher than the Disease launcher. Right, it has slightly higher base damage And it blends with our stuff so much better. Applying burning to enemies from a considerable distance on the first turn has obvious benefit, given how many of our units have that do bonus damage to things that are burning, or that increased chance to hit things that are burning. Ooh, that's interesting. I forgot we didn't actually spend any of our skill points. Void bullets. Also interesting. So she has so many skill points that we could just go double piloting. I think I'm going to. So advanced piloting, and then she's on a dinosaur. She'll probably take animal discipline. Her army is packed with animals. Dimensional feedback seems very, very good. Phase shift is fine. Shield modulator is... Oh, shields for everybody. Absolutely. Void bullets is okay. Renewal is fine. And then I think from there we're just taking... So she's going to sometimes be doing melee damage and sometimes be doing ranged. You know what she needs is vitality. The great big dinosaur is a real target. And then we could take all around awareness if we're going to be pushing forward with the dinosaur a lot, which we probably are. All around awareness definitely has some value. Okay, here's the thing. Pteranodon. Not a cheap mount, but look at it. Can you put a price on that? The game can, and I think it's very fair. You also get an Infernal Launcher. And then we're definitely going to want... Let's have a look at some of this stuff. Target units damage up by 20%. That's not a bad thing, certainly. Units in this hero's army gain universal camouflage. That's fine. We should definitely have somebody with the tactical AED assistant. I guess it can be her. I don't know that it matters terribly who it is. And then, like, the combat stims are great in general, but they're probably less good on the Pteranodon. Because, of course, we're going to be running up on people a lot. I definitely want to take Thermal Targeting Relay. And then, like, the Incinerator module, because our attacks do not naturally have a chance to burn. And I do want that, I think. No, am I not allowed to Incinerator module? That's weird. Okay, confirm loadout. Now can I put it on? I can. So I guess that you're only allowed to make so many changes at once? I guess? Okay, pretty excited about using this particular force in combat. And we need to level up on the other two before we can do that. Dawn of a New Union is done. We do need to pick a new society research. So what is important from here? We have doctrine slots. I'm not even paying attention to a bunch of stuff because, frankly, the game's not all that difficult. You don't really have to play your very best. Ooh, I do like selective breeding. To start with an extra rank on all of your animal and mounted units. We use a lot of animal and mounted units. That said, there are other considerations. Like maybe we should take more development type stuff. We have a fair number of energy sectors. And you can never have enough energy. I've decided now, after deciding earlier in the series that almost all amounts of energy were too much. Listen, this is what happens as your understanding of the game evolves. It's not even really an understanding of the game thing so much as a playstyle thing. We need a lot of energy now because we're running considerably more army than we were early on. And you definitely don't need to do this in every game. We do have a forest sector already. I guess, yeah, let's upgrade that. Then we'll do this. Still making a fair amount of energy per turn. How many settlements do we have that are just doing energy? Hansel doesn't necessarily need to be. Is there anything more useful we could build here? We don't really need more happiness. The Colonial Field Hospital definitely has value. I suppose we could cap out the defenses of the area. That's probably worth doing. Okay, yes, I know we researched Dawn of a New Union. All right, let's see what the rest of their forces do. I'm pretty curious. We may end up having to go to war with the assembly player. Or at least we may have to end up providing material support to the Dvar in their war against the assembly player. We may also end up having to kill the Paragon, which is not something that I was planning on having to do from the beginning of the game, but may be unavoidable now that they've declared war on us while being adjacent to a bunch of our stuff. But that's really a sort of a medium-term concern. For right now, we're just killing the Kirko. Domain invasion at Nasindel is just more troops moving up into here, I guess. Unless it does refer to these guys. Yeah, monitoring stations are all going to get disrupted. I don't really care too much about that. Okay, show me all of the domain invasions. Oh no, who would have thought? Also, Android Zone. Okay, that's certainly not a threat. Corvin has sent us a message. I would like it if we were even closer friends. Are we able to? Yes, we can offer a defensive pact, and I'm fine with him potentially calling me into a war. This does not align with his plans. Well, we'll just keep buttering him up constantly. Yeah, we have cities. Boy, it feels like your cities are so unhappy that they're rebelling is not the same kind of notification as your cities are so happy they produced extra stuff for you. Don't really think that the game's doing a doing a good job by compressing those into a single notification. I have absolutely no fear of this. Like, if we take these three armies into Nasindel, we will reclaim Nasindel very easily. Alright, what do we want to do over here? Hero Resurrection Protocol. Do I still have a dead hero? It would be here, I guess? Rowena the Furious. I totally forgot about Rowena the Furious. That was exactly all of my points. Okay, hold on. Doctrines. Promethean units are cheaper and better. Not too worried about any of this. We don't really need food all that badly anymore. What we need is more, yeah, like this kind of stuff. Let's get the Warmonger going, and then also, honestly, the Technologist would be pretty good. That's what we can be doing for the next couple of turns. Just getting our war doctrines in position. So are the Kirko really just going to crouch in Nasindel until I show up to kill them? Doesn't seem like great play to me. And then once we've broken them down, we've got this army coming in, we can maybe have one of these stacks break off. Like, we'll push forward against the Kirko, have one of the stacks break off to the teleporter, and then they can push back against all of the Paragon nonsense. At least until we get the Paragon to come to their senses. Alright, Corvin is putting that other guy away, which is good for us. I would love it if we could just get into an alliance with the Dvar. That would be a cool place to end up. And then together we can enact doomsday protocols or blow up all the enemies, or whatever. We'll figure it out. Right, and this is that same invasion. Not really. Okay, that was weird. I clicked inside the game window, but the game window lost focus from me doing it. Alright, so here and here. Okay, let's do this thing. Attacker power, a couple, more than one by a bunch. I think we probably could just auto-combat this. It's a lot of enemies. Let's see. This is a situation... Okay. I was going to say, this is a situation that serves as a good test. This is a battle where we would trivially win this without casualties. There's a lot of potential damage to take, though. And so we could, but also we're not in a dire situation if we lose units here. This is a good test of how the auto-resolver deals damage out to your units. It killed a helicopter that shouldn't have died, but on the whole, that wasn't too bad. Maybe an okay price to pay for the time it saved us. So then your army should probably take on a more traditional unit. We could give them a bombardon as well. Like the whole of our forces are bound by the movement speed of the bombardons right now, whether or not the armies actually have one. So it seems like an okay thing to put more of them into the armies. And then, I mean, at this point, they can't have too much left, right? So this army can barely move forward. Yeah, and maybe what I want to do is take these heroes over to Kansawil, and we'll build some more units to deal with the Paragon, the Renegade Paragon over here. We don't have a field hospital in Nosendale, do we? No, this would be a really good time to have one. I suppose we should build one. Although, maybe not. Maybe it's not even worth worrying about it because we're, it's maybe not going to be the front anymore. Now that the enemy to our east is defeated and the enemy to our south is the person we are actively marching on. It sure would be nice to have any idea at all where his capital was. So I have thus far been making an assumption that when that assembly guy gets to the number of owned sectors needed to win the game via that, that he wouldn't just instantly win, that it'll like notify us and give us time to respond. I don't actually know that for certain, so maybe that would be a good thing to double check on. The Spacers would like it if I would build them a thing. Hold on a second. How am I doing with you? We are at 10 approval. We don't need to do this. The benefit from doing it is a truck, which I don't particularly value. And 20 influence, which I guess is good for fixing relations with the other minor faction. Especially since, right now, doing quests for the Spacers won't damage us with the Paragon, because we're already at as low as we can possibly be with the Paragon. Yeah, I'll take it. 800 industry, that's not going to take too long to do. In fact, Nosendale can get working on that right away. Because we don't really need a field hospital. Here I probably want to build units. Like, Mastipol can also help with this, though. Korensburg can also help with this. We can get this done pretty quickly. We want to get this done, and then, before we start making headway with the Spacers again. And then you can just run over here, I guess. This is where you live now. Okay, let's push. Let's go out here and do some damage. Rondafel is where they are looking like they're going to try to mass up for their next move. So breaking that army apart as quickly as possible, I think, is the smart play. Let's make sure the slow army is... Do we want to take this? There's not really a lot of benefit to it, right? And we're going to get it for sure. We're going to get it for free by taking Rondafel anyway. I guess the benefit is that I would like to be able to stand in that space. Alright, we'll just come down here and comically overdo it. Apparently I can only get 2 of my armies into the battle. We are temporarily not triangled up. This is our moment of weakness. Let's see if they pounce on it. The Planetary Unification Protocol... Wait. Oh, right, I can prime it, I can't launch it. I was like, I definitely don't meet the requirements for this. But yeah, I can prime it if I want. I just can't launch it. Well, I certainly don't want to prime it. We're not that far off of being being allowed to launch it, though, if I really wanted to. If I decided that that was how I wanted to win, it is within our grasp. Alright, we should be able to hit Rondafel next turn, but it's going to be pretty armed up by then. We could prep an energy siphon, but what are the odds that it would actually work, right? Okay, we know that that is not their capital. I guess I'm out of strategic points anyway. Alright, we'll keep searching. I would love to short circuit some of this. We don't actually need to take all their land. We just need them to die. We just need this player to not be in the game anymore. So if we can find their capital, we definitely beeline it. Let's see, they got a truck, a network link, more transcendence, and the transcendents are really the thing I'm most worried about here. And that's Roto Khosrax himself, which isn't particularly meaningful until we get some idea where his capital is. Orvin is apparently just kicking ass over there. So what does Rondafel have garrison-wise? Oh, their colony militia is very, very poor. In fact, at 280, they don't have turrets, right? I think 280 means that this is still at level 1. Or they maybe haven't completed the level 1 structure that allows you to have turrets. So we might be able to just march in there even with their force being pretty considerable. Okay, yes, we built many things. Good work, us. Let's start by deploying some monitors. That's really not what I meant to do there. So where do I think their capital might be? They do have more territory down that way, and that's the direction we first saw them approach from. I guess if we're deploying in this direction, we're also at the very least getting vision of where their armies might be coming from. So what do they have here? Okay, a single truck. Not exactly terrifying. Well, they have a lot of units, but they don't have a lot of good units, and it seems like they might not have turrets, and who knows how long that'll be true for. I think we gotta make a move here. Oh, except we can't actually reach them. And I do think we really want to use all 3 of the armies, so I guess we're not making a move this turn. That's a shame. This is more warning than I wanted them to have. They definitely have time to buy out their colony defenses here. Stupid slow units. Alright, for now you're in guard mode here while we build more units. What else does this army want? We could build mind control robots, but why build mind control robots when you can build laser dinosaurs? This army currently has 32 points of move. I think I'm not going to build a Bombardon into this army just because of how slow they are. Let's make a Pteranodon. Make at least 1 Pteranodon for this army. Over in Hodin, we don't really need to build more units here. And this would be a pretty good place to build a refinery. Okay, 279 energy is more than enough to run all of our defensive operations and stuff. So I guess let's see what they got. We are mostly healed up. We're healed up enough that we can finish healing up easily at the beginning of a battle. Okay, we're going to get that notification every turn until he is defeated or he wins, I guess. Very curious what they're going to do here. Like, do they just sit? It might be a good idea to just stay in place. Alright, I was looking at that like it was a morale indicator. It probably should not be the case that it's a morale indicator on your forces and a diplomatic indicator on other forces. Like, it should have the same function no matter who you're looking at. I'm sure Ava's just going to propose that I give her some resources in exchange for some resources. You know, if she offers us Cosmite, I might take some. It's at least possible. Do I want a truck more than I want 100 energy? No, actually. I see no reason to do this. Alright, we're continuing on that. Here we actually do have to make a choice, though. So a little bit more energy sector development, I think makes a lot of sense for us. We have a fair amount of Cosmite income, so this is certainly not critical. We went this way. Your units just deal 10% extra damage. That's an interesting doctrine. Units are better at fighting within your domain, and you have a ton of operational defense. That's pretty cool. These don't seem so great. The Bio Crusade is very in keeping with the thematics of what we're doing. I might just take more operation effectiveness, honestly. Apparently I am now honorable. Man, we're really not that far off of attempting a unification victory, are we? Yeah, we're at 400 without even attempting. Alright, let's do this thing. Their militia power is still showing us 280. They have a lot of very basic units. We can do this. But it's going to be a long battle. You know what? We can do this, but we'll do it tomorrow. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time tomorrow. We're going to murder the Kirko leader and then hopefully find his capital and burn it down really, really quickly. I would love it if this didn't turn into videos and videos and videos of us chasing him around the continent like we did with Robin. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.